How's it going, guys? This is Mustard here, bringing you a Cutthroat Kano run-through, really. That's what we'll sort of go with, really. It's a character I used to play a lot, especially sort of post-Evo. I definitely had a lot of fun with him. He then got adjusted quite a bit, and I kind of stopped using him. But I'm kind of, really feeling like picking this character back up again. And I've had a lot of people ask me on Twitter and other ways on the stream a lot if I'm going to start playing Kano again. So this one's for you guys. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the character. Not to blow my own trumpet, but I do feel like I had quite a good Cutthroat Kano when I used to use it quite often. And this is kind of like my personal view on the character. I know there may be some other ideal things to do in certain situations that you may not see from me, but I'm not a Cutthroat Kano main. He's just been one of my favourite characters since launch, really. So we'll get things started. I've got Ketchup here with me, so he'll be asking me questions about it.
Howdy.
As we go along, because as I've said before in many videos, I'm not very good at playing and talking at the same time, so while I'm sort of demonstrating some stuff, he's going to try and fill in the white noise with questions about what is it I'm doing and why should it work and why won't it work, etc, etc.
So to get started, I guess it's a matter of what is it that Cutthroat gets that the other variations don't get?
It's mainly his normals. Obviously you guys will know that in Cybernetic and Commando, Kano's back one, the high knife stab, well, it's a mid, but he angles it highly, great anti-air. In Cutthroat, that clearly becomes this, which is the really short range, sort of like retreating overhead back one. The reason this is good is because it's an unreactable back one, and you may hear me repeat a few things I said in the very, very first Cutthroat video I did on the channel months and months and months ago, but this character's very much been refined since then.
He's been developed, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, first things first, you get this overhead, which this string here, 0 on block, really good, no gaps, so at least I don't think there is. Let's quickly get him to reverse with this. No gaps, I don't think. Yeah, no gap, 0 on block, save as houses, job done. This back 3-1 is also safe on block, it's 0, and again, no gap. I don't think the full string has either. Yeah, no gap there either. And also, Cutthroat gets this, which, on hit, I believe, let me quickly check out my special moves. On hit, you're plus 12, which isn't so bad if you're leaving them standing, if they've got no meter. But
one thing we see Kanos do when they have no meter, one thing we see Cutthroat players do is they opt to go for the low. They go for the 2 hits of the low or into that exactly, and then become plus 12. The issue with that, I guess, is because there's a lot of knockback, so it's kind of hard to get behind.
It has been quite far away. I mean, obviously if they're cornered, it's fine, because in the corners where you really set your stuff up, and I'll get into that in a second. But my vision for the character, or at least the way I play him, is I live for that corner. Every time I touch you, I'm going to save all of my bars mid-screen, because Kano can get some nice chunky damage mid-screen, because he also gets this string, the forward 2-1-2, which is a meterless launcher. You can get 30% damage every time you hit the opponent with that, in a multitude of different ways. You can either repeat the string into 1-1-2 ball, or you can do something slightly more swaggy with a 1-1 slash into another straight ball for another 30%. It's kind of up to you which one you'd rather do. It's kind of comfort, I suppose.
Which string did more corner carry?
They kind of both do a similar amount. I mean, they both resolve you kind of having to do a run cancel at the end, sometimes in the middle. That was about 50%, but I mean, let's have a look. If I get him from the middle here, this one does. That is actually full-on half-screen corner carry.
So
this one here.
That covers 50% of the screen, and that covers
almost just as much.
45% of the screen.
Yeah, so kind of non-existent differences. It's all going to be about comfort, whichever one of those B&Bs you want to do. You can use meter burn buff mid-screen, because that's the other move he gets in Cutthroat, the down 3. This buffs your damage at the cost of a bit of health to you. My philosophy on this move is it's always worth that damage you take, because yes, you do take quite significant damage if you take the whole thing. It's about off the top of my head, I guess it's about 15%, almost 20. I'm not exactly sure.
I'm pretty sure it's 15%.
Yeah, it's about roughly 50% damage. So you got to sort of think about that whenever you're hitting the opponent. But the fact of the matter is, you've got amazing corner carry, and hitting the opponent with the air ball while they're with a straight ball while they're in the air, you get this hard knockdown, which you have enough time to. If you get them in the air, you get enough time for a full buff uncontested into Oki as they stand up. And this buff significantly increases your damage. So if you've saved all of your bar from mid-screen, you're going to have it when they're cornered, and you can do some crazy cool damaging combos like these. These are all off 50/50s. Let me quickly show you. You are hit confirming to meter burn buff. This is off a low. So this will be, this is for 3 bars, I believe high 60s. And this used to get, 67% off a low with 3 bars. This next one will be off the overhead, hit confirm meter burn buff. basically.
And this is post-patch only, because they sped up the startup time, didn't they?
Yeah, meter burn buff received a significant buff in how quickly it starts up. So you can see basically 70% for 3 bars off the overhead and the low. Now, if you've got that off a hard knockdown from this 30% combo mid-screen that you started like right here, and then you get the combo say here with meter burn buff to start it maybe. As they get up off the ground, then the amount of health they've got left, that's basically 70% health right there. That combo is going to kill if you've got 3 bars and they're in the corner, and you happen to get that 50-50, because that's the thing. It's a 50-50.
A safe 50-50 too.
It's a safe 50-50, because if I'm getting you in the corner and I can see that you're, I'm going to quickly get him to block. That might help. Or if I get him to block auto, let's say I get this restand and I go from overhead and he blocks. I go, okay, cool, that's safe. Or if I do the same thing again, I go for the full string. Oh, he's blocking. Safe. Hold that. Or and I just for quality of life, I'll show you guys the same thing off the low.
But even if you dial it into the meter burn buff, even that, I mean, I believe meter burn buff can be. Is it slightly plus, or am I wrong? If you cancel into it,
I don't know the exact frames, but I know the only one it's like significantly of any worth plus, as in like to use to go in on block. A lot of the times you'll kind of like go into it to make a string safer than it normally was. But back 1-2, which is the first 2 hits of the overhead string, that is quite plus on block as far as I'm aware. I know, I believe a standing 1 is guaranteed off that. I don't know for certain, but I'm fairly certain you can. Yeah, that's legit block, so you can't armor through that. So if you see him blocking, hit confirm. Normally you just do the whole string on block, you're fine. On hit you get a combo. Especially in the corner you get a nice meterless setup here with a knife toss into, again, straight ball buff into whatever it is you want to do on the ground Oki wise. But back 1-2 on block into meter, if I quickly get this. It's not something I've done in quite a while. I'm definitely going to start playing more Kano.
And that armor breaks Predator anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's something I was going to go into after. If you get this right,
that combo, so that's obviously a good situation.
Yeah, well, you guys saw it work anyway. So if you get that right, you can frame trap into 1-1. 1-1 meter burn knife, I believe, can't be armored. If we get him to do it. Okay, there is a gap there. That's the next thing I was going to go into, is the gaps in the strings. Kano's 1-1-2 is amazing because the ones are high, but the if I get him to crouch, movement mode, duck. Jump, that's the wrong one. That's the opposite of what I want. Okay. Yeah, it's a mid. So the 2 at the end is a mid. So this 1-1-2 string is really quite good if you can get them to respect it, because 1-1-2 meter burn knife jails. So what that means is that once they've started blocking that standing, the meter burn knives will be guaranteed they have to block the rest of it. Which obviously meter burn knives on block are plus as well. The only problem is you have to know what gaps you have. Because if I set them to reverse on, I'll just set them to block always. So he's gonna get him to stand up as well. That makes things a lot easier. There we go. If you start just chucking this out, trying to get the meter burn knife follow up, your meter burn knife will come out, and against a lot of characters, you will still use your meter burn. At worst, you'll trade, but at best, you'll trade even. But you've used a bar, and they've just interrupted it, so you've completely wasted a bar. And again, as Kano, your bar is incredibly important because it gives you those corner death kill combos. Because that's kind of what I really want to emphasize in this video. Is because mid-screen, yeah, you've got different things you can do into, be it into meter burn buff for better frames, or meter burn knife because that's also plus.
I think it's worth demonstrating real quick as well, is how pre-patch Kano in Cutthroat was hit confirm into the meter burn knife whenever you land a hit. Whereas, as you just demonstrated, post-patch, hit confirming into the buff is more damaging. I know we were running over this earlier on, but I think it's probably worth demonstrating the damage differences between pre-patch Kano for no health damage to himself with the meter burn knife, and then if you opt to go for the buff instead and spend the bar on that, the damage that you get instead of that. Yeah. So if you go for your B&Bs mid-screen, which would normally convert into meter burn knife if you don't want to lose the health. But then
it's not even the health thing now. It's kind of that's what it's turned into post-patch. It's a question of do you want to lose health for more damage, or do you want to do less damage to them and get them towards the corner? If you're willing to use bar mid-screen, you may as well do it with the buff, because it's going to probably end with the opponent in the corner with the 50% corner carry he's got. And that's the position you want them to be in. And if you're doing that with a buff already, then you can start doing meterless corner conversions instead.
Well, what kind of damage can you get mid-screen if you convert into the buff?
Well, this was an old Kano combo I used to do. It would be overhead 1 into meter burn, knife, NJP, 1-1-2, straight ball, and quickly not mess that up. Reset position, back into mid-screen. Cool. Okay, so this is a pre-patch combo I would do. Easy stuff, 1-1-2, straight ball. Corner carry, foot off the wazoo. 1 bar, 32%, really not great damage, but it's the corner carry you did it for. Problem is, you've used a bar mid-screen, and here you've probably got 2, so if you then get the follow-up into whatever one it is you're going for the big damage, you're probably going to get about 50% instead of the 60% you normally would have wanted in the corner position. However, now you can go meter burn buff, hit confirm, and then go for this version instead, which will get you about 10% more damage, you get 42% corner carry, and you've already got the buff turned on, so you can do whatever you want into any conversion. I mean, that was a really simple combo, and that alone did 38%
and it came
damage.
off of 50-50 too.
Yeah, exactly, and you're still going to have the buff if your combo is quick enough, and even then if it runs out after that combo, just turn it straight back on and go straight for it again. And same thing off the low. Low you'd go, at least I would go, meter burn knife, NJP, 1-1. This would be, again, it's a combo I've not done in a while, so it's not the ideal one anymore. 1-1. My word, I will get this, guys, I promise.
It was the kick knife thing, wasn't it? And then you did, or was that corner only?
No, that's if you get off like a raw NJP.
You can tell I don't play Kano.
Yeah. The thing is, that's a commando thing, because you can get more damage off that. But you can do the same thing off the low, it's just not ideal for me, really. But you can go 1-1, 1-1-2. I'm really bad at doing this combo now.
Well,
I'm going to get it, I'm really stubborn to get it. I mean, it's not a combo you need to do anymore. It's still 32% off of it.
Same as overhead, really.
You could also do this. Would I? Actually, no, I would just, no NGP, I'd just go straight to the 4-2-1-2, so 1-1-2, straight ball. 34. Again, 34 is slightly better, but again, not great. But now you can do the same thing, meter burn buff, and then go straight into that one. And then,
so basically everything just converts into your meterless punish that you would do normally.
Yeah, so 40%, a lot better for your damage, a lot more bang for your buck, really. But it's all about just getting that corner, and that's what I really want to stress with Cutthroat is, you know, he's got all the universal tools. He's got the godlike down 4. He's got the amazing straight knives. He's got air whiff punishability with that. But that's also another thing you can do about against a character like Predator is if I quickly get him to block auto and reverse. If I've got him blocking and I've got him blocking if he sees me do this. And he tries to interrupt. Like if I catch him standing and I go for the overhead, and he try and do this. He tries to meter burn.
Well, that's guaranteed.
I accidentally got the frame trap perfect. Oops. But let's have a look. If I catch him with that and he tries to reverse, I delay it slightly. That's gonna armor break him.
Yeah.
Kano's 1-1 is amazing for armor break. Just look how quickly those 2 hits come out. Any character with slow armor, Quan Chi, Predator. Who else comes to mind with slow-ish armor with the not so much ability to.
Well, I've seen that armor break a lot of characters.
That's it. It's a really good armor breaker because it does an amazing job, and I think you can even get it off the meterless low. Quickly have a look. Quickly see this. Get the low. He's gonna reverse. Yeah, there we go. Even being if you're 0 on block, you can armor break the follow up with 1-1. Against characters with slow armor, and then obviously you can go, oh, okay, cool, that's worked. So I can go. Oh, I did that one late. I will get this.
Obviously, timing's a thing, but
you have to time it. But at the same time, if you do, then you can confirm that into big damage anyway, which I'm trying to show you guys now.
The final thing to demonstrate after this, in light of there you go.
Yeah,
the meter burn buff does actually have armor on startup, I believe. It didn't. They took it away and then they gave it back, didn't they?
No.
They adjusted something.
It's meter burn buff has always had armor on the very startup of it. When they increased when they increased the speed of how fast it starts up now, it still had armor, but it was at a weird point in it, and then they changed it. So basically, this move throughout has armor now. So you can basically use it as a parry. So if you've got a wake up attack that is, in fact, I want to show you guys this because
we've never tested this before.
I know I know this works though. So I'm pretty certain I'll get this. Yeah, there you go.
And then you can get punished.
Now let's think. If that was a single hitting wake up attack, like the Kung Lao spin, for example. But I guess that's kind of it. If it works on Kung Lao spin, it'll work on any single hitting wake up attack. If it works on that, you can literally just go, okay, cool, he's gonna wake up attack here. And I did the normal buff because I'm well good at video games. The normal one again. You have to time it better, I think.
Yeah, so it's on the absolute startup of it.
Yeah, it's right at the start. So depending on the wake up attack, you have to delay it. But that's and also because it's a damage buff, you're going to be punishing them with a damage buff.
I guess the reason you probably don't see that used much though is because most wake up attacks are punishable in the game, right? So if you would spend the bar on the buff and you know a wake up attack's coming, if you opt to just block it instead, you can obviously do your BNB into buff into the punish for more damage. But it's just something you can do, I guess.
If it's a wake up attack that's punishable on block with 1/1, then you may as well just wait for it, block it, and then punish with this instead because it gives you more damage. However, if it's something you can't punish, you're effectively using it as like a parry, basically. Like let's say for argument's sake, this like scimitar stab can't be punished. You then get the opportunity to punish it because normally I can't punish it, but then I've just parried it and completely full comboed him for doing it.
So moves that are normally safe on block, you now kind of eliminate the recovery of it a little bit and then get the chance to punish.
Yeah, because it's whiffing. It might have more whiff recovery than normally if you block it, and if moves like that happen to be a thing, you can use a bar to do that. Problem is, it costs you a bar, but if I do it here, then he's going to end in the corner anyway, so I'm using a bar to get the position I wanted regardless.
The final thing to mention about the buff, and this is going by what I've seen Mustard do during our time in America, when Mustard was playing loads and loads of Cutthroat to try and really refine the character a bit, because we hadn't seen it used very often, and the only real American player that was rocking Cutthroat was Coach Steve, and even that wasn't his main variation. One of the big deals about being in the corner here, and when you activate the buff, people always wanted to wake up reversal because they see that Kano has used the buff and they've seen that he's taking damage away from himself. It's almost like the mind game of he's hurting himself to get a knockdown set up. There's no way he's going to hurt himself and then block. Like he is going to go in. He wouldn't have buffed if he didn't go in. So it's almost like the ultimate bait. It's almost, it's way more likely that the opponent is going to go for a wake up attack if they see that you've buffed yourself. And that's one of the dynamics of actually having the buff. But what Mustard's trying to do there is
it's a tricky B&B that I used to do all the time, but I haven't done it for quite some time.
It does a lot of damage though. It does a lot of damage.
It's worth doing it. I always think the NJP is something that's quite hard to describe, but plinking is a technique where you hit both punches of the same sort of strength, slightly delayed to each other. So for example, if I'm plinking here, you'll see they'll come out right next to each other. Because basically what I'm doing is I'm inputting 2 punch motions as fast as possible. So because to do that combo you need an instant air NJP. And if I do it with 2 punch buttons, then I'm effectively giving myself double the opportunity to get it instantly off the ground.
But that combo you just saw there, it is quite tricky to do, but if you can get the muscle memory, it does give you really good damage with the meterless buff.
But that's another thing about Cutthroat, is the big damage combos, like I'll just show you guys again, the ones that you see at the start here. You can dumb these down for less bars and still do very significant damage. But there's some of the more execution heavy combos I've seen in the game. However, with that said, you cannot turn your nose up at 68%, 69%.
Well, during the time of you playing Cutthroat in America, you were pretty much hitting. That's why your Cutthroat was doing so well against everybody, was because you were landing these combos, because you had the muscle memory behind it.
But that's the only reason I wanted to continue exploring Cutthroat, was if I thought, well, at EVO, the best players literally on the planet are here. I'm playing casuals with all of them, and I'm taking serious games off basically everyone with my Cutthroat. And it's a character that at the time I've been playing for about a week. So I thought to myself, if it's working against these guys here, then I want to explore this character more. I want to play him a bit more. There was even a time that I was considering dropping Shinnok for Cutthroat Kano.
Really?
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, because that was back when Bone Shaper was, kind of flavor of the month, and it was kind of, Bone Shapers was dumb because it was very dumb back then, but it was kind of like not very fun to play either. Bone Shaper, I enjoyed it, but it was definitely not as fun as the other variations. And at the time, it was kind of up in the air whether Bone Shaper was going to be nerfed or not, or if it was going to be, how were they going to do it? And Cutthroat seemed like a character that was going to be untouched at the time. Keep in mind, this was back before the buff, to meet about buff. This was before they adjusted the amount of health and damage and stuff like that. So,
well, let's not forget that the universal hitbox changes to characters being knocked back to make combos more possible.
112 received one of those hitbox improvements.
Not only did it significantly help people like Jax, but Kano also got helped in that patch.
Yeah, because it used to be that 112 and corner combos, like the 2 in it had a really weird hitbox that it would just miss people sometimes in the corner, and they fixed that. It still happens if you like horrendously mistime it, but if you mistime it like that bad, it's kind of your fault. But either way, I really do enjoy playing Kano, and I'm going to be using a lot more of him. This hopefully is a video you guys enjoyed. I know it's a run through of Cutthroat with the way I play him anyway.
He's quite a tricky variation. I mean, don't worry about the video being too long, because I mean, there's quite a lot to Cutthroat that people may not even realise. Very tricky character.
Yeah, but I just wanted to give you guys watching a bit of an overview of my vision of the character, at least the way I play him and the way I used to play him, for all of you guys. And kind of, I guess, a bit of a method behind the decision making and why I do what I do. I will use bar mid-screen for certain things because Cutthroat does build it quite well. Any character that has safe strings with a back 1-2, back 1-2-1, meter burn knife, back 1-2. Because if you think about it, like back 1-2, meter burn buff, 1-1-2. If they don't reverse it, obviously if they don't get in the gap, that's into the knife as well. That's like half a bar being built. So you're effectively using half a bar on that on block because you're getting 1-1-2 into the knife. If I quickly turn him off, I'll quickly show you guys. If I get him to turn off the reverse one and literally just block. Let's have a look. He shouldn't do anything. There we go, cool. So let's say for argument's sake he just blocks this. I'm going to turn off my super meter and you'll quickly just see how quickly I can build meter. So let's have a look. I've got 2 bars here. Okay, use 1 bar, and that's built half a bar. So I've used half a bar to be safe on that, and then if I get the follow-up knife, that's on block, that's safe. On hit, I'm plus. And same thing with that. Like if I hit confirm on hit into that, I can go spend a bar, 1-1-2. If that hits, then I've not built the bar, but I've just got him standing, guaranteed a 50-50 in the corner. And on block, I'm just going to go into straight knife and be safe, and I've built half a bar anyway. Like this character builds meter very well, he uses it very well, he has probably the highest practical corner damage in the game.
Besides Blood God, obviously.
Yeah, but Blood God doesn't do it on 50-50s.
Exactly. I mean, that's why we talk about practicality. I think final thought before we call this one off, Sonic Fox Speedbag.
Sonic Fox Speedbag, dude.
I think I think both of us really, final thoughts on Cutthroat before we call this one is, I really think he slept on. I mean, I know there are Kano players out there that ever since the beginning have said, not a good variation, Cybernetic is better. I think we've both really always thought that Cutthroat just plays the game the best. Like, out of all 3 Kano variations, Cutthroat fits MKX the best.
The way that the meta has evolved for the game, Cutthroat fits to a T. He's got 50-50s, safe block pressure. Yes, he's got gaps, but he's got specials that mean you can just bait the reversals and punish them really hard. A parry to make every wake up attack in the game that hits singly, unsafe on block, unsafe on whiff anyway because you're just parrying it. Amazing anti-airs, his down 2 is absolutely incredible. Jump normals, this jump 1 is a really weird and effective jump normal. Amazing pokes, good down 4s, brilliant normals, a great projectile, and hard knockdowns.
Okay.
Off of every touch.
Cool. So that is Cutthroat Kano. I don't know how long this video was, but I don't even think it matters. There's a lot of information here.
I enjoy doing this, just sitting down with you and just basically just talking about a character that I play, why I use them and why I do them. So if there's something that you guys enjoy more of, I know Ketchup's done a few overviews of characters he plays, but if there's something you want to see more from me, with I am planning on doing a full tutorial for Shinnok. It depends on whether our equipment will let me do it.
Well, I think if we're doing a Shinnok tutorial, we don't really want to do it in one take, as it were. We would want to cut it up and make it a bit more. Kind of like the videos I made with Warlock and Sorcerer.
Yeah, absolutely.
The technology has to allow for it, though.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see more, let us know. Please do like, comment, and subscribe as usual if you enjoy the content. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye-bye.